The most exciting gossip story of the 20th century was about an English king who fell in love with an American woman and was forbidden to marry her. The year was 1936, and it was a tale that fascinated half the world. Even an 11-year-old American could read it with delight, as I can testify. To make it doubly fascinating, there was an element of scandal, for the woman the king loved was already married to another man. There were even bad guys out to prevent love's triumph. One was the Prime Minister, another the Archbishop of Canterbury. They told the king it was either give up the woman he loved or give up the throne. Well, as everybody knows, the bad guys prevailed. King Edward VIII abdicated and married Mrs. Wallace Simpson after her divorce came through, and somebody else became king. Our story tonight's about that somebody else and the woman he married. He was Edward's younger brother, Bertie, who instantly became King George VI the day Edward abdicated, and he was totally unprepared when the monarchy was suddenly thrust upon him. Tonight's story is about this uncertain monarch and the woman who was indispensable to his ultimate success, Elizabeth Bowes-Lyon. They, of course, were the parents of Queen Elizabeth II, who this year celebrates her 50th year on the throne. When he replaced his brother, George VI was portrayed in the press as a shy, dull-witted, colorless man with a crippling stammer, and his wife as hopelessly plain. Little was expected of them. Yet when he died, George VI had become a gentle hero to most Britons, even those who didn't like kings. Our story explains how he did it. But first, a word about names. The British royals always have a great many, and it can get confusing. Thus, King George VI also had the name Albert, and so was known as Bertie to friends and family. His older brother, officially Edward VIII, was called David by everyone who knew him. After abdicating, he and his wife became the Duke and Duchess of Windsor. And now, Bertie and Elizabeth.
I don't like your face, Bertie. I do not think it is the kind of face that should be seen in society.
That button should not be undone. I did not create you, Duke of York, for you to walk around with your buttons undone.
Sorry, Father.
People who walk around with their buttons undone are cads. Your duty is to set an example. One of the ways you can do this is by doing up your buttons.
Yes, Father.
Bertie, we should be late. Bertie, shoulders.
That girl you were dancing with.
Elizabeth Bowes-Lyon, sir. A daughter of the Earl of Strathmore.
I might want you to introduce me to her.
There's a bit of a queue at the moment, sir.
May I have this dance, please?
Weren't you in the Navy during the war?
Yes. I spent most of my time rolling around the deck in agony.
Oh, heavens, were you wounded?
Stomach ulcer, actually.
Oh.
There were times when I thought a wound would have been preferable.
I was a nurse. We turned Glamis into a kind of hospital. Those poor young men. And now here we are, all having fun as if it never happened.
What was it that French chap said? Never talk about it. Always think about it. An extraordinary thing has just happened.
Did I tread on your foot?
I didn't stammer. I didn't stammer once.
I think you may have winged a beater, sir.
What? Oh, God. Are you sure?
We'd better let him have a favour, sir.
Elizabeth? I think I may have peppered one of your beaters.
Oh, Lord. Honestly, Bertie!
I think my son is rather keen on the Strathmore girl.
I formed that impression, too.
Oh, he could do worse than marry Bertie to a member of the British aristocracy. I mean, some of them are quite respectable. Well, yourself, for example.
Has it ever been done? Isn't royal blood supposed to be a unique asset? Surely she'd be the first commoner to marry into the royal family since,
Anne Boleyn.
Well, that didn't work out, did it?
Well, my understanding is that until he had her beheaded, the whole thing was a resounding success.
That should make us level.
You're quite competitive underneath all that, aren't you?
Well, of course, that's why I like shooting with you. No competition!
Well, really?
The working man needs to work. If you can't offer the Welsh miners work, then we might as well...
We should offer them champagne.
I'm serious. There's a strong danger the miners will be tempted by Bolshevism.
Isn't Lenin the most appalling little man? Well, what do you think of Bolshevism, Bertie?
I try not to think about it, actually.
Oh, no, my brother has a very strong social conscience. He's devised a sort of residential camp whereby he takes boys from the slums and so on, puts them together with boys from wealthier families, and they all, what do they do exactly, Bertie?
Well, they, play games and...
Have fun?
Yes, that's it.
Anyway, take Glasgow, for instance. I was up there last...
I can't sort of put it into words like him. Don't you think he's marvellous?
Of course he is. He's your brother. And he doesn't mind being noticed. Which must have its uses if you're going to be a king.
I hate being noticed.
I shall ignore you then.
Oh, no. Oh, no, don't do that, please.
You seem troubled, sir.
Well, I'm in love with the girl. I'm absolutely, completely, and utterly in love with her. And I want to marry her. And I'm at my wit's end to know what to do about it.
Well, you could try asking her, sir.
No, that's not really possible, I'm afraid. If you're me, I mean, if you're a member of the royal family, do you see? You're not supposed to ask people to marry you.
Why ever not?
Well, Father would never allow it. In case they turned you down, they would never do, do you see? We sent an emissary to see how the land lay.
And what happened?
She told him to bugger off. And I really do not know what I should do. I'm so in love with her, you see.
I think you should ask her yourself, sir.
Fighting talk, Davidson.
My wife turned me down 3 times before she said yes. I just had to keep asking her and eventually